NBA 2K rating recap for January 13th, 2026. We're going to start off in Miami, where the Heat ended their losing ways with a 127 to 121 win over the Phoenix Suns. Heat moved to 21 and 19 on the year. Big offensive game for Bam Adebayo, 29 points, 11 of 15 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3. He came in only shooting 32% on threes. And he has a career low 54% true shooting. A big part of that is because he's been taking more threes rather than twos and not hitting them at a high clip. So that's how that happens. Norm Powell, he returned from a couple games out, 27 points for him. Tyler Hero had 23. Khalil Ware, he continues to play limited minutes off the bench. 10 points, 5 rebounds, 16 minutes. So I did apply my intangibles debuff to him just to lower his overall rating by 2 points, get him lower in the rotation. He's about the 8th man or so right now for Miami. Phoenix Suns, they dropped to 24 and 16. Dylan Brooks, 25 points. Devin Booker, 24. Both those guys in kind of middling efficiency. Grayson Allen had 25 off the bench. Mark Williams, 18 and 14 for him. Report that Jalen Green is close to returning from his hamstring injury. Could end up being a starter, as Colin Gillespie, over his last 5 games, he's really struggled. 7 points per game, 3 assists, shooting 32% from the field, 25% from 3. Also has only taken 5 free throw attempts in his last 11 games. So I have not gotten the chance to touch up on the Phoenix Suns yet. I am a little under the weather. I touched up on the Lakers. We'll get to them a little later in this video, but I'm going to opt to get some rest. And then maybe if I'm feeling better, I'll edit some guys in the morning before work. Going over to the Houston Rockets, they moved to 23 and 14 on the year, beating the Bulls 119 to 113. Kevin Durant, 28 points, 10 rebounds. Alperen Sengun, 23 and 11. Amen Thompson with 23, and Jabari Smith Jr. kind of riding the ship, 18 points. He was 2 of 7 from 3 though. 3-point shooting has been the one area where Smith has really waxed and waned. Going over to Chicago, no Kobe White or Josh Giddey in this one. So Trey Jones responded with a career-high 34 points, near perfect game for him. 11 of 12 from the field, only missing a three-pointer. 5 of 6 from 3, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. So also had 7 assists, and he did all of that in only 27 minutes. I'm going to watch tape on this game. And then probably dive in on him to get his rating adjusted a little bit. Certainly the 74 3-point rating could probably go up a couple points with this performance. And just overall, I am really high on him. As you can tell, I've got him at an 81 overall, which offhand is definitely higher than what 2K's got him at. He's been one of the best Bulls pretty much the entire year. I would argue probably their 3rd best player. I'm not... obviously a big Nikola Vucevic fan. I can't wait for him to be on another team or just out of the league completely. But Modest Buzelis, he had 19 points at small forward in this one. Jalen Smith, he returned to the starting lineup at power forward, 14 points, 9 rebounds. Isaac Okoro, he got the start at the 2 with Kobe White sidelined, 9 points. For him, also they were playing against the Houston Rockets. You know, you do want to have size in the front court, but they were not able to get the dub. Let's go on over to Minnesota. They dropped to 27 and 14. I'm sorry, they moved to 27 and 14 because they got the win, a big win over the Milwaukee Bucks, 139 to 106. No Anthony Edwards or Rudy Gobert in this one. The latter serving a suspension, 1-game suspension, league mandated for he picked up too many flagrant foul points. So he was out for this one, but they definitely didn't need him as they won by 33 points. Julius Randle, 29, 8, and 6 for him, 12 of 18 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3 to lead the way with Ant sidelined. Naz Reid got the start. He had 19 points. And Joan Berenger, oh geez, I got to activate him. He had the best game of his young career, 13 points, 6 of 7 from the field in a whopping 30 minutes. So obviously, Reed plays a fair amount next to Rudy Gobert as well. So they definitely had some Reed Beringer lineups, as he is essentially the backup at power forward and center for this team. So really good to see, good harbinger for the future. Mike Conley, he got the start with Edwards out, 9 points, 5 assists, but he's old, so he can't play too many minutes. Only 21 for him in this one. So Bones Highland had to step up and fill Anthony Edwards' scoring void as well. He had 23 points off the bench. He's another one of those guys that I need to definitely get to his overall rating. As he's really a good comeback story for him after barely playing over the last like 2 or 3 years, basically since getting traded from Denver. But he rejoined Tim Connolly in Minnesota. He's a big believer in him, and he's reestablished his career, which is really great to see, unless you're Rob Dillingham. Rob Dillingham probably hates Bones Highland quite a bit. Um, Jaden McDaniels had 17 overall. The team shot 60% from the field, 52% from three, 22 of 42 overall from three. Milwaukee, oh my God, what a disaster of season they're having. They dropped to 17 and 23. Giannis 25, 8 and 5. He was 7 of 14 from the free throw line, so he's been pretty hit or miss. I guess that's a pun, but no Miles Turner in this one, so Bobby Portis got the start. Played 14. I'm sorry, didn't play 14 minutes. Played 30-something minutes, but he had 14 points. Kyle Kuzma and Gary Trent Jr. The bench was just awful in this one. Kuzma 2 points, 21 minutes was a minus 37 in his 21 minutes. Gary Trent not much better, 6 points, was a minus 30 in 14 minutes of action. So the bench got absolutely clobbered in this one. Giannis definitely looking around at what's going on. Obviously, Miles Turner being out and the Wolves shooting 60% from the field. He's probably the most irreplaceable player on the roster outside of Giannis. Going over to Denver, they got another win without Nikola Jokic. 122 to 116 over the Pelicans. They moved to 27 and 13 on the season. Jamal Murray, 35 points, 9 assists, returned from a one-game absence. Peyton Watson, he continued the last week's player of the week, continuing to pour it in. 31 points for him. Aaron Gordon got the start at center, 16 points, 7 rebounds. Jalen Pickett got a start at the 2 with Murray back in the lineup, 16 points. Christian Brown missed this one, of course. Tim Hardaway Jr. had 18 points off the bench to round out the scoring for this one. The Pelicans, of course, are not the greatest defensive team in the league. Trey Murphy, the third, 31 points for him. Sadiq Bey made his return after missing 5 or 6 games or so. He had 17 points to be the secondary scorer on this team. Zion, only 12 points for him. That's got to be disappointing. They need a bigger output from him, given the quality of the team that they're. Not that the Nuggets are a bad team, but look at their front court right now. It's Peyton Watson is has a 70-pound deficit on Zion, and they've got Aaron Gordon as their starting 5 right now. So certainly, I think the Pelicans' front court could have exerted their mass a little bit more. Zion only 12, Derek Queen only 10, also 13 rebounds, 5 assists for him. I don't think these guys fit particularly well together. We'll see if the trade deadline can solve any of their woes. Pelicans dropped to 9 and 33 on the season. OKC Thunder, they have the opposite record. They moved to 34 and 7 on the year with the big 119-98 win over the San Antonio Spurs, their rivals. They avoid the season sweep, getting the win here. SGA had a big game, 34 points, 11 of 23 from the field. 1 of 4 from 3, 11 of 13 from the line, so he was not to be stopped in this one. Jalen Williams added 20 points. Chet, 8 points for him. Kind of got clowned a little bit by Wemby at the start of this game. Wemby loves this matchup, so Chet struggled a little bit, but they were able to hold on and get the win. No Lou Dort in this one. Jalen Williams made his return and had his best game of the year. Had 11 points, 10 rebounds, doubled with 5 assists and also 2 blocks in 23 minutes. The Spurs, on the other hand, Wemby had 17, got the 500th block of his career, but they kind of struggled against the OKC defense overall. Castle had 20 points, De'Aaron Fox only 14 in this one. LA Lakers, they moved to 24-14 on the year with a big 141-116 win over the Atlanta Hawks. LeBron had 31, 9 and 10, 1 rebound short of a triple double. Luka, 27, 5 and 12. Jake LaRavia, 17 points. Rui Hachimura, returning and coming off the bench, had 7 points in 18 minutes. DeAndre Ayton had 17 and 18, huge double-double for him. Marcus Smart, 16 points as well. He's been off in the he has not been scoring a lot of points lately, so this kind of turned things around for him. I did finally get a chance to touch up some of the Lakers' ratings, most notably Jake LaRavia. I finally got his rating in halfway through the year almost, but yeah, got him at a 79. 2K Sports doesn't even have a single badge on him. He's the new Harrison Barnes. They had Harrison Barnes with no badges for like 5 years. Or I don't think it was 5 years, probably like 3, but it certainly felt like a long time. And LaRavia right now, they are doing better, a lot better with their badges, 2K Sports is. So that's why it's actually kind of a little surprising that LaRavia doesn't have any badges as of yet. But I guess just like me, they are bogged down by many things. It is a massive league now compared to what it used to be. So I've got LaRavia up at a 79. Marcus Smart, I did drop him down a little bit, 2 and 80. You'll note that both of these guys have lower three-point ratings than where they've been, as they've both been struggling in that department. So Rui coming back, that's going to be a big boon, at least in that department for the Lakers. I'm going to eventually get to knock out some of the guys like Jackson Hayes, Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt. I do want to knock out at least the top 10 for the Lakers. That's going to come over the course of the rest of the week. Going over to Atlanta. Oh, and I guess actually a little bit of league news. Kobe Buffkin signed a 10-day contract with the team. He previously was a member of the Hawks, so was signed. This was his debut with the Lakers. He did check in and played a little bit of garbage time for them against his former team, but he has been tearing up their G League affiliate, averaging 27 points for them. So the Lakers, they do have a roster spot open for a 15th man. Maybe Kobe Buffkin can figure in, and we'll see if they open up. Obviously they're pretty stacked at guard, but I do think that they want to move off some players at the trade deadline, probably most notably Dalton Connect, who they almost traded at last year's trade deadline. But going back to the Hawks, they dropped to 20-22 with this loss. Nickeil Alexander-Walker led the way with 26. CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert had big games, 25 points off the bench for CJ, and then Kispert, 19 points for him off the bench. So maybe he will eventually figure in the starting unit, as Vit Krejci's really struggled in that role. And Zachary Risache continues to miss time with his injury. Jalen Johnson struggled in this one. LeBron is very similar to Jalen Johnson, as is Luka, I guess, kind of to some degree. So I didn't get a chance to watch any of this game, but I am curious how, especially the LeBron-Jalen Johnson matchup went. Johnson, 13.6 assists, only 5 of 17 from the field. Going over to Golden State, they moved to 22-19 on the year with a 119-97 win over the Blazers. D'Anthony Melton led the way. He's been huge this year. He's another player I need to get his rating in, because he's essentially the sixth man of this team right now. Definitely ahead. He's a better player than Moses Moody. I wouldn't be surprised if he re-entered the starting lineup after the trade deadline. It seems like they might be moving on from Moody at the current rate, but Melton 23, Butler 16. Most of the starters only played like 20 or so minutes, as this was not a super competitive game. We'll get to the Blazers in a second, but there is some reporting that the Warriors are interested at the deadline in Michael Porter Jr., Trey Murphy III, and Herb Jones. The Pelicans have already put out there that they're not interested in trading Murphy or Jones. We'll see, but or at least I'm sure if they did trade them, they could probably get a better package than what the Warriors have to offer. So I don't think those guys, especially Murphy. Murphy is like the Warriors' wet dream, but I don't think that they have the assets to really make that happen. And Herb Jones would probably slide in as like the best defender, or at least the best perimeter defender on the team, and certainly an heir for Draymond Green. Um, but Kuminga, Moody, and Buddy Hield would most likely end up just being the outgoing salary in any trade that the Warriors make at the deadline. Michael Porter Jr. is interesting because the report did say that the Warriors would be willing to move a first round pick in such a trade, and the Nets obviously. Michael Porter Jr. has been great for them, but they're just an asset accumulation. So getting a first, they already got a first for taking on his contract, so that in itself would be just another win for them. But finishing off with the Blazers, Denny Avdia actually missed this one due to injury, so Shaedon Sharpe led the way offensively with 19 points. Caleb Love started for Denny Avdia. He had 17. Drew Holiday, a second game back from injury, he came off the bench, had 12 points, 8 rebounds in this one. Could end up moving into the starting unit. If Denny has to miss extended time, I assume. But given Drew's age, I think they'll probably handle this. A bench role may not be the worst for him either, especially since he was kind of anticipated that he would be in a bench role, as Scoot Henderson was penciled in as the starter this year, and then his Scoot's injury kind of pushed Drew back to the first unit, where he actually excelled. But now moving forward for the rest of the season, it would not surprise me if Drew Holiday was just in a bench role. And if he is in a bench role, we will drop his overall rating down from an 85. Let's just see where that goes if we tank that all the way. I think that's probably down to like an 82, maybe 81. Yeah, 81, I guess. I mean, that's fine, probably. And then, yeah, Ryan Repair, he's been playing better of late. I do need to get his ratings in as well, but defense is probably the thing that he does best. And some of his ratings are still the 2K defaults. Like, he's better than this. What's his help defense at? 70? Yeah, so he needs a lot of work. Even with the intangibles buff applied to him, he's only a 72 overall. So yeah, still a lot of work that needs to be done on my roster. I do consider the work that I do like a year-long thing. Just to add, part of the issue is obvious, not really an issue, but because I'm now making these videos and spending 2 hours a night working, putting notes together and everything, and then recording the video. I'm making content for you guys, but it is also coming at the cost of other content. So if anybody wants to be my intern, let me know. I'll tell you what to do. But I'll see you guys later tonight. Let me actually see, since this was a little short on content, I just want to see what's going on in the NBA. Wednesday's always a huge game night, so I'm anticipating that I'm probably going to have like 12 games to break down. No, not as many. Okay, we've got Toronto, Indiana, Cleveland, Philly on ESPN, Utah, Chicago, Brooklyn, and the Pels, Denver, Dallas also on ESPN. I mean, that one's everybody's hurt for that one, so I don't know. And it's a back-to-back for Denver, so who knows? I'm guessing Jamal Murray probably plays. They would have otherwise. The way they actually no, he's not part of like the player participation policy because he's never made an all-star team, and that's where those rules apply. Like the league prefers that if you are going to sit like one half of a back-to-back, you need to play the TV game, not the non-televised or non-national game. So because that policy doesn't apply to Murray, I wonder if that means he just sits out of this game. The one benefit that Denver has of Nikola Jokic being the only All Star that they've had in the last 15 years or so. Um, we've got New York, Sacramento, and then Washington Clippers. The New York game should be interesting as the Kings are on a 2-game winning streak. And yeah, Jalen Brunson versus Russell Westbrook. Let's go. That actually, that game is late, 10 o'clock, so I might be able to catch some of it after work. Anyway, I will see you guys later tonight. Peace out.